Okay, excuse that I look like a literal newborn baby with my hair pulled back. So this is part 2 of falling in love with my co-worker slash employee. Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest. I skipped a chapter in that video, so I'm gonna be honest now. I also had a boyfriend at that time, so I was like, is it okay to find someone attractive? And like, look, normal people would say yes, like it's a normal thing. I don't know. I'm iffy. Like nothing happened. Okay, so I go to a party with my ex and his co-workers. I'm talking to this girl he works with, so one of his co-workers. I could have just said it like that instead of saying okay. Anyways, and I'm talking to her about how I just got promoted, and she's like, oh, where do you work? And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, I have friends who work there in that company. Which store? And then I say, and she says, no way, my friends work at that store too. And I was like, come to find out, it's that I fell in love with my employee. Anyways, so all of a sudden she, like, I don't know how often she had parties and at this point, but for, I guess, reference, I know that she threw, well, I wouldn't even call them parties, they're more like get-togethers, but nonetheless. But come to find out after, she does have a lot often. It's almost like every weekend. So then she starts inviting me and my ex to things because I'm friends and I know these people. And so this was, I think when we met was like June. And by this point, it's like Christmas. So she invites me to her Christmas party. And my ex is working because he worked at a store that's very popular in Australia and he did night fill. So I'm there with with his co-worker, her, and all her friends and my co-worker. And oh my gosh, my nose is itchy, sorry. And we're popping off. Like, we're drinking, like the banter's going backwards and forwards. Yeah, again, nothing happened. We're just banter. I guess, look, in hindsight, maybe, like, that could have been a bit sus, but like, we were just like, it was just like, there was no inside jokes. We were just kind of making fun of each other the whole night. My ex gets there after he finishes work. I don't even remember what time it is. He raced, I don't know, I don't keep up with his life, go-karts. So he had go-karts the next day. And we agreed we'd stay at the party but then leave and then he'd like blah blah. He got to the party, he's like, let's go, like she's so drunk, blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm not drunk. Like, I've been drinking, but I'm not drunk. Anyways, I don't know, like, I always think that maybe like everybody could feel the sexual tension. I'm not too sure. For me, I just know it got really uncomfortable when he showed up. Again, nothing happened. I think it's just all in my brain. So then I'm like getting closer to some other co-workers because basically in the future these people become my housemates. So I'm getting really close to them and I'm getting close to their friend group. And there's a girl in their friend group who later they wouldn't even be friends with, I guess. Yeah, long story short. And what happened? We come into the store. My employee's working and she's there trying to like flirt with him. Like, she's taking his hat, like she's like really like grabbing him, you know, like school flirting. And I guess we were pretty young, like we were like 20. I don't, like, I'm not a flirter, I don't know, but she was like really laying it on thick. And I'm like, you know, it's killing, well, actually, it really didn't, but like, no, I didn't. I really didn't get jealous because I really didn't care. Because I'm one of those people, if I want something, you know, I'm going to get it. That might be just me being delusional. Anyway, so I'm looking, and at this point, like, there's been a lot of things. So it's not even related to this employee, but there was a lot of things that were happening in my relationship, and I was like, I need to get out. But I was kind of like trapped in a sense. So I was going to house opening and things in my spare time behind my ex's back. Eventually, I did tell him, and I said, I really want to move out. I want to be independent. Like, you can eventually move out, blah, blah, blah. That's the spin I spun, you know. So then I'm going to the house opens, and then eventually I'm like, I can't hold off anymore. I need to break up with this boy, man, whatever. I need to break up with him. Everything, and like I was holding off because essentially I was just trying to wait for a rental, and everybody kept saying, because I didn't have anywhere to go, I didn't have a home. So if I broke up with him, I'm homeless, which is very selfish of me. But I mean, he could have also broken up with me at any point. So like, it was very clear the relationship wasn't working. So at this point, it's January, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I need to break up with him. I break up with him. But before I do, I get a shower. I get everything. I grab a suitcase of things that I need, so like my work clothes and just some other nice-ish clothes, so that I have clothes and I can just leave, so that I don't backtrack on like me breaking up with him, you know. And that night I had a party to go to, said co-workers, so that's awkward as well. Yeah, broke up with him. I don't think he understood that it was a breakup, because then when I was walking out, he said, I love you. And I was like, that is the weirdest thing to say, like, when you've broken up with someone. And I was very clear on it. But I don't know, he just wasn't getting what I was putting down, I guess. So that whole night, so basically we were supposed to go to 2 parties. This is such a fucking convenient story. If you know this story, you know. So we're supposed to go to 2 parties. We're going to one, my ex's best friend, and then we're going to go to this party. I ended up just going, obviously, straight to the second party. And I'm like, all night, I'm like, he's gonna come. Like, he's coming. He didn't come, thank God. Anyways, I was homeless, so I couch surfed on at a friend's house, and then I had to ask my soon-to-be housemate if I could stay with his parents. It was like the most humiliating thing that I've ever done, because I'm a very like, I'll do it myself kind of thing. But this was a situation where I had to ask for help, and I was expecting him to say no, but he said yes, and I was like, okay. So I now was crashing my friend's house. Yeah. Anyways, we found a rental by February. So it was like only a couple of weeks. And then my friend, he was waiting for his bond back from his last rental, and my other friend he was like still 50-50 if he was moving out with us, so he didn't put money aside. So luckily I had money, so I put the down payment on. That's not a big issue. I don't know why I made that. Anyways, I put the down payment on for the bond and everything, so we could get this rental. Everybody paid me back. Not a story for now.